God. Okay. I think we are supposed to be live right now. I suppose we'll find out. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Please let us know if you can see or hear us. I can see there are some people already in the live. If not, I'm just going to proceed assuming that you can see and hear us. Thank you for joining us tonight on this beautiful Saturday. Well, I say tonight because I'm in Europe, but probably a lot of you aren't there. So thank you for joining us today. And on this beautiful December day, let's say, to discuss a book that I couldn't wait to talk about anymore, and I'm sure everybody that's going to join us tonight also can't. And before we continue, you probably saw a lot of people on the thumbnail, and you might be surprised that there are so few of us tonight. We'll grow in numbers slightly a little bit later, but as you can imagine, life happens to all of us, fortunately and unfortunately sometimes. So not everybody could make it, but that just allows us to yap about more and keep the spotlight on us. If you're not aware somehow of what we're doing here, we're reading the Wars of Light and Shadow series by Janny Wurts, one book at a time, and then we gather and discuss. Look at this. I want to talk about this cover a little bit later, and we'll get to it. But before we continue, I'd like to make a little bit of introduction. You likely know who I am, just a girl reading books here on YouTube. Like
so much more than that.
Thank you so much, but not much more, just slightly more than that. Let's put it that way. We also have the father of Jacob from Talking Story, John Minton.
That is how I'm most well known. Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's like how I like to introduce him. John is the person that actually made this all happen, this entire readathon, at least from my point of view, because he's the one who introduced me to the series and invited me, and I couldn't thank him enough. But there is one more person that I need to thank more for this, because we also have the author of the series with us, Janny Wurts, who not only wrote these amazing books, but also painted their covers.
Yes.
Which I can't explain. And something that I just found out like 2 weeks ago, accidentally, she's married to one of my heroes, Don Mites. I didn't even know that.
I think Janny is only half on screen because you have Brian just texted me and said you have it set up vertically.
So I have it horizontally and vertically.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's watching it vertically.
Okay, I don't know either.
Tell him to turn his phone around.
Turn your phone around, Brian. Okay.
Hi. We have some people already joining us here. We have Michael Gion. Yeah, I butchered your name. Apologies. I will butcher a lot of names tonight. Keep that in mind. And we also have Brittany. Hi, Brittany. So, please, Janny, say a few words about yourself to our audience.
What can I say? I do everything except play golf and dance.
That's true. We all know you do much more. Google the author.
There's a fun anecdote concerning the cover of this book. I got a note of apology from the art director. That never happens, because they told me they wanted me to put a different character on the cover. And I spent a month trying to make it happen, and it refused to happen. It just wouldn't happen. So I said to Don, just said, Janny, do it anyway. Do what you wanted. And so I did the drawing, did the painting, sent it in, and the art director sends me back a note saying, I'm so sorry. I will never, ever tell you what to paint again.
See, this is why Don is so many of our heroes.
Yeah. Don, you want to say hi?
Probably for the best. I was going to
be. There you
go. Oh my God.
Say hi.
Hey, Don.
I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm probably breaking into hives here.
You better watch out, Janny. Sylvia's pretty
No, I'm
excited
just-
to see Don there.
Well, at
he
one
has-
point, the
he has
fans thought
paint-
he was hot. He got they had an artist contest for best ass, and he won.
I don't want to start any rumors here. He has painted some of my favorite covers ever. That's all I meant by this.
You want the end that's on the brush.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're burying the lead. He won best ass? Come on.
Yeah, he did.
He did? Oh my God. Well, listen.
The artists are a
Sometimes-
really crackpot crowd. If you get going with the artists, it's crazy, 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 crazy stuff comes up. Don't get us started.
Perfect. Well, this is a great beginning. But talking about the book cover, I'm wondering how I can share some assets here, maybe. Let me see if I can show, because I want to talk about this book cover. The important deep stuff, as you can see,
Mhm.
is what I'm looking after.
There would be a good image of it on our website in the print shop.
Let me see if I can show a little bit of it. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do.
There we go.
There. Okay. Here, this is good enough. I wanna pose a very important subject to discuss here, and that is: has Arathon ever looked hotter? Because this cover is where I switched sides immediately. I don't care who's good, bad, correct anymore. This is it. This is where I switch sides right away. So I would like to hear some opinions here. Yes.
Yeah, those are quite the cheekbones. I'll say that.
Oh my God, look at that. Oh, this piece of hair that falls over his eyebrow and the eyebrows. This is it. I'm sold. The series can end here for all I care. This is the guy. But this is in the realm of jokes, but this is absolutely gorgeous cover, and I'm really sad that I can't get it here, because unfortunately the only ones I can get are the other ones. Still very beautiful, the ones with the circle in the middle and all of that. Still very beautiful, but this is the one that I want.
Well, we'll have to hope for a special edition, and I could continue the portrait style art all the way to the end. It'd be nice.
That would be something.
It would. It would. I mean, it was the U.S. that did those, and when the U.S. discontinued after the merger, they didn't keep any of the authors from the one company when they merged together. Harper and Avon merged. All the Harper authors got ditched, so there were no more portrait covers after that.
Terrible.
I hate it.
Yeah, absolutely. When I rise to power, every cover will be a portrait cover. Okay, so we should read some comments probably before we continue, and we lose track of what they're talking about. We have Brian, the one and only. Brian can't be with us because he contracted some sort of a plague today.
Oh,
no. Couldn't make it. Yeah. Well, not today, but he's suffering of it today. I had the vertical. Well, my apologies. I got greedy with wanting to have all the type of streams going on. Probably was a mistake, but I'm not very savvy when it comes to live streaming. This is my first actual stream hosting, so it's bound to get ugly. That's absolutely. Listen, Heidi, you're so very kind, but I wouldn't call myself a fantastic artist. I like to paint every now and then, and sometimes it works out. Let's call it that. Hello, we have Brian commenting again. I can't spell vertical.
I can't say Brian said this was his favorite of the series so far. I was getting quite a few DMs as he was going through this one.
Darn, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. Sorry you're not well, Brian.
And he was
we miss you.
He was a little ahead of me. So I was when we were reading, so we were DMing back and forth.
Yeah, I think he's already finished the next book in the series, if I'm not mistaken, or close to finishing it.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. I am here for non-spoiler. Okay, we will keep it non-spoilery for now. I mean, I'm sorry that I mentioned Arathon is hot, but I think this is something we can all see.
You can tell that from the cover.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Yeah, it was getting to that point. Tall, dark, and right, but also emo
not tall.
musician.
Not tall.
Not tall.
Not tall.
I'm not tall either. I'm okay. Well, how little exactly? I need exact measurements.
I would say around 5'5".
Well, still taller than me.
A little, but not much. But most people think 6 foot or bigger. Got to have a tall hero, and this guy isn't 5'5", is going to be under a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to go into that, but I never got that really, because I'm so short, and to me everybody's taller, so it's uncomfortable to talk to a very tall person. Okay, all right. Let's see. Will be bothered to enemies anymore? Will I be bothered to enemies anymore? Am I not reading this, or am I not getting it?
I'm not sure on that. I would need more context there.
Will I be bothered to enemies anymore? No.
There you go. All right.
There you go.
We cracked that one.
There you go. My Perils Gate is UK version with Traith Raven. Oh, nice. Well, Traith's Raven is still pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Actually, there's a hitch to that when you read the book.
I want to talk about birds later on when we talk about the book.
We will
talk about spoilers.
So. Before we get to spoilers, though, we really ought to say about the audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we continue,
you did it. You ran a campaign. You got HarperCollins. They are now producing Ships of Merior and Warhost of Asmark as audiobooks. Same narrator. It will be Colin Mace again. I'm thrilled and delighted. They will be out in March. And you may have to persist, but the pre-orders are up. You may have to look on the author page. You may have to look on the books page. May not be listed with the series. You may have to poke a bit to find it, but it is definitely happening. So get those pre-orders in. Let's get the rest of the series. Let's get it going, rest of the series. They only got 6 more books to commit.
Yeah. This is huge. This is huge. We've all been saying we want audiobooks. We want audiobooks. We get another 2. I know one person, Jacob, is going to be absolutely out of his head thrilled. I actually have already told him because he was over the moon to hear. So I'm so thrilled, Janny.
I am too. I cried. I was so happy. I've known since August, but they refused to let me announce it till the pre-orders were coming up. So get out there and do it. People who are new to the series know that the first 3 volumes are absolutely the best starter package you could have.
Yeah,
and it's a good stopping point. So
it's
support
a great
the first
arc.
3. We will see where we go for there, but we need to get Arc 3 going, and 1 book of Arc 4 is still missing.
Yes.
The final 2 are out in audio. So thank you to everyone for making it happen.
This is fantastic news. Fantastic. Not only are we supporting great art, but also so many more people get to enjoy this book right now.
Yes.
I have recommended this series to a number of people that I know around here, and I know appreciate great fantasy and great literature in general. And everyone not everyone, but let's say 90% of the 20 people to whom I have recommended it personally has asked me whether there is audiobook to it, because their only time that they can actually dedicate to consuming literature is listening to it on their commute, or while walking in the park, or while doing chores in the house, because most people have children and so on and so forth. So it's a really amazing thing that people now are get to get familiar with this absolutely fantastic series that I can't believe is not more popular. I can't believe this. It's insane.
And I bet Janny's astounding, amazing, transformative, transportive prose, hearing that is going to be like, there are huge chunks when I'm reading this, I have to read it out loud because it's stunning to hear it out loud.
It was designed to be read aloud. It was absolutely designed to be read out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am thrilled. So 1, 2, and 3 are now contiguous. Grab them.
Absolutely fantastic news. I am so excited to now be able to tell people that they can actually listen to it. Now, I wanna look at a few more comments while we're doing this so that we don't miss out. We have some questions here. Awesome. Here we have Heidi. Awesome. The audiobook news is the best news ever. I will be pre-ordering ASAP. I know Heidi is going to appreciate it because I know this is the kind of thing she will definitely enjoy.
This is a Heidi read. No two ways about it. Yeah.
We have another comment here by Nessa Reads and Roams. Hi, everyone. Can't wait for the audiobooks. You don't have to wait much longer now. Hopefully very, very soon. Will the pre-order be on Audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be. And you can get book 1 now, so you can start book 1. It's 2 and 3 that are coming in March.
Oh, this is so great. I'm not very good with audiobooks because I get distracted, but I don't think I would with a series like that. And I actually started giving audiobooks a try with a little more mundane, repetitive tasks, and it works better than just sitting and trying to listen to them. So definitely think is going to be a success. I can't do audiobooks, but congratulations. I'd be happy to buy the first audiobook, or maybe all 3 for someone who has been wanting to try. Yes, it's a great what
an amazing thing. Yeah, find him on the Discord. That would be what a astonishing
How
gift.
generous. Thank you. That's very generous.
We have another comment. Wait, I'm going to go back a little bit because I was reading the ones for the audiobooks, but I missed some earlier ones. Okay, the fireman the fireman comment. Yes, this we discussed already.
Yep.
Yes, I finished the Peril's Gate. You are all in for quite an experience.
You still speechless, Brian?
Brian was warning me. Get ready. It gets. You're going to a darker place. So I have been warned. I can't wait.
Darker place is my favorite place.
Yeah, you and me both, Sylvia. Yeah.
I think I made a comment about it, that whenever I'm reading something, I hope for some sort of deep, darker, terrible things to happen to keep my interest. So
yeah, for sure.
Yay for short, dark, and handsome. Is that
like
your
Brian.
type, Brian?
Yeah, that is Brian.
Oh, okay. I thought that was his type, but okay. Sylvia, what is your favorite Don Mites book? Okay. Well, Electric Forest, yes, that is the one that I was going to mention. But now that you said it, and it's probably the recency bias, but Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun, original cover, absolutely fantastic. I was trying to. I actually bought it a secondhand because you can't find it new anymore. I don't think. It cost me quite $1, but I'm waiting for it to arrive all the way from the US, and I can't wait to have it in my hands. This is, my dreams are not very big, as you can probably surmise by watching my videos, but this has been a dream of mine to own a copy of that for many years.
We have prints.
Yeah.
We have prints.
I know, but it's different when it's the book,
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a print on the wall as well, but it's, I wanted to have the book, and I already have the Bulgarian copy. I don't want to get up because I'm linked with cables here, but I have the Bulgarian copy, which also has the original cover, but it's been modified. Like the background has been changed by the publisher for some reason. And it's not ruining the whole thing, but it's just not the same. But yeah, that's my second favorite after Electric Forest. And the original Daughter of Empire, where I don't know that I can remember that one. But yeah, okay. Oh, Sophia Loren, beautiful woman. Yeah,
probably thinking of the U.S. cover.
Probably.
Yeah, it's yellow.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh my God, fantastic, phenomenal covers. Okay, we have a hi here. Okay, and then we have another comment here. I just read Summer Tree by GGK and was pleasantly surprised to find out it was Janny and Don.
Yeah, we collaborated on that one. Guy asked for it. So the publisher said, okay. And so we did one painting that they made 3 covers out of. You can see the whole painting. And we have a sequential of how the painting was put together. It actually started out orange, and we put the picture on top of orange and painted over top of very hot orange. So you can see a sequential. It's on the website. On the collaborative worlds of Don and Janny, you can see how we did it sequentially.
Yes, so beautiful. Oh, fantastic. Maybe I'll show it later because I'm not sure how to work out this program yet. But okay, book covers, fantastic. We have the audiobooks going on. This is an amazing news, and we need to promote it more because the more we talk about it, more people will hear about it, and this I'm sure will bring a lot of new readers and bring them so much beautiful hours of enjoying this fantastic story. Talking about this story, we are, as I mentioned earlier, going to talk about Grand Conspiracy, which is the 5th book in the series, but also the 2nd book in the 3rd arc, Alliance of Light, if I'm not mistaken. So before we dive into spoilers, which we will do a little bit later, we will do a little bit of non-spoiler talk as much as that is possible with the fifth book. And will not spoil anything of the series that you won't find out in the synopsis of it. But let's start with John. John, what is your impression of this book?
I loved it. I thought it was
I'm
in
shocked.
the running. I was in the running for my favorite of the series, but I still think I give an edge to Warhost of Vastmart. But I was amazed.
Scandalized.
I think this arc has like 5 books, right, Janny? Alliance of Light is 5 books, and I was amazed at how fast this ramps up. Coming after Fugitive Prince, where all the seeds are getting laid and the ground floor is getting set up, so you can kind of see what's going to happen. I mean, by book 2, this thing was flying for me. The pace was...
No, it's not. Still building.
Well, it seems like it was flying for me. I couldn't believe how fast we got into so much. And then some big reveals for me about the world and the characters that I was pretty floored by. So for me, series favorite, I think Warhost edges it, but just barely edges it. This is right up there for favorite of the series for me.
I still maintain that, to me, this is my favorite book from the series thus far. But as I said while we were talking before the live started, I say this for every book of the series that I read.
Yeah.
And which is a good thing, because we're building on top of things. But I think this is because we got to see so much, which obviously we got to see so much more revealed, but also so much more revealed that was already hinted at, shown either as premonitions, visions, or hinted in some sort of slight way here and there. And then we got to see it realized here, maybe not spelled verbatim, but shown to us. This is one of my favorite things about the books, that you don't get told things straight up. Sometimes they get built in front of you, and you see their shape, and you get to develop it in your mind, figure it out, which is one of the beautiful things that the brain enjoys, figuring things out on its own. And it's a rare thing that we see nowadays, because a lot of authors like to guide you very well, I don't want to say patronizingly, but it feels that way sometimes, that they spell out everything for you, like they don't trust you to be able to think. In these books, you get shown things, but also you're allowed to interpret them and figure them out for yourself. And that is a fantastic thing. But also in this book, why it's my favorite, I think, thus far, there are many reasons, but one of them is the fact that we get a complete story in a way. In a lot of the other books, we end on a little bit of a cliffhanger. You have to, obviously you have to read the rest of the books from the arc to get the full picture, but you get a full pretty satisfying ending to this book within this book.
You get an ending, that's for sure.
Yeah, that ending was great. Talk about great battles in other books, and big blowouts, and we get those here as well to an extent. But this ending, I think,
it was a different kind of moment, wasn't it?
It was a different kind of what do you call this climax?
Mm-hmm.
It's just it was so satisfying. Oh my God, everything about it I loved. I felt a little how should I say, anxious about it, because one of the characters involved is one of my favorites. I like all of them, but one of them I'm feeling very protective about, and I'll talk about her later on.
Yeah,
so
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I got a little, oh no, I don't want her to be betrayed or whatever. And then it happened what happened, and I was like, oh, this is so good. This was great, very satisfying. But also, every time we talk about the series, we talk about the prose.
Yes.
And I always, maybe I'm doing a disservice to this series, because every time I talk about the complexity of the prose and how it's on a different level, and how maybe it'll be difficult for people to get into it sometimes, because it requires you to actively, pursue the meaning of the sentence. And that's true. But also, once you get used to it pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
And then your brain starts to work on that level. And there is something else that I never mentioned that I think I should, and I will right now, and that is, and I'm looking for my Kindle because I want to highlight something here, and that is the sense of humor in this book that is very very nicely delivered in such a way that leaves one chuckling, and then you're like kind of surprised because there's dramatic things happening and very deep philosophical and moral dilemmas and all of that. And then there's a phrase like this. Obviously, Dakar is somehow connected to it, but
Of course he is.
yes.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The miracle left him dumbfounded that his heart had not yet shirked its weary task of pumping his bored blood through his brain. It's just, isn't this the most relatable thing you've ever heard? I read this like 2 hours after a very long, productive, yet, as you can imagine, boring work meeting. And then like I read this and I was like, this nothing has ever expressed my feelings on a subject better. And I laughed out loud because it's so good. And through the book, there are so many of those, there's humor in it, and we never mention it. And I think we should more.
Yeah.
It's just it's so beautiful. It's
I
lovely.
thought there was even more of that in this book particularly. I thought that got upped.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, at least it feels that way, or maybe we started more noticing it more.
Mhm.
I also wanted to talk about the descriptions of nature, and this is something that that we talked about before the call started, the live started. But in this book, and this is the quintessential autumn winter read in this time when the world is getting more gloomy and entering into the winter mood. This is the perfect book for that season because it just puts you, and not just this book, generally speaking, the series, the atmosphere of the series is very nicely delivered in a way that makes you feel like you're in there. And I've called this classic fantasy many times because it has the feel to it of classic fantasy, maybe because of the writing that elevates it to this level of an epic story. But it's not the classic fantasy. Yet it has this cozy feeling that you get from it. And there is this chapter in the beginning. There are no spoilers in what I'm going to read, just a description of atmosphere. Below the loft ladder, the blanket embers in the grate flare sullen orange as cold air eddied down the flute. By the way, sorry for my pronunciation wrongly of some words. I'm not a native English speaker. The single paned casement held whirled scrolls of frost, etched brilliant silver by moonlight. No one else stirred. It's just this, and I'm not doing the thing of justice. Listen to the audiobooks. you will get the experience. It's just so, you're feeling like, oh, this is this gloomy moment. And, in the dark of night when you feel like you're all alone, everybody's sleeping comfortably in their beds, and, the frost on the windows and all of that. It's exquisite. That's how I'll describe it.
Yeah. Atmosphere and then nature. Nature itself is such an important part of what's going on. We get into spoilers. We can bring that up more so, but it's like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We have some more comments. Oh, hey. Just popping up to say hi. I'm still on Fugitive Prince and loving it so far. Very, very nice. Yep, major world building and magic in Grand Conspiracy. Yes, we'll talk about world building and magic. Magic, my God, magic got crazy this time.
Yeah.
Wish I could stick around, but I need to study, so I just want to say this. Prepare for Peril's Gate. You will be floored beyond words. I'll come back to watch it when I'm free. Yep. We keep on hearing that, and the FOMO is really getting to me.
That's why I couldn't wait anymore. I gotta start Peril's Gate. Yeah.
5 minutes. Absolutely. It starts 5 minutes after the ending of Grand Conspiracy.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. It's perfect.
I can say a note right about the prose, that the problem people have with the prose, it is not difficult. It's that they rush it. You have to read it by phrase. So they're used to swallowing an entire sentence in one gulp in most other books. You can't do that with this. You got to interpret each phrase as you go, and it will all hang together, and often the punch is at the end. So just don't rush it.
Yeah.
Don't hurry. And once you get the feel of what you're looking for, you'll be able to read faster.
Yeah.
But the trip up happens is because they try to swallow it whole and they miss stuff, and then they get lost.
I mean, I think that's go slower, take your time is a good advice for life in general. I think we live in the kind of times where, I mean, it's normal. We're trying to get the quick everything.
They have proven that when your mind slows down, you absorb things much more fully. So the reason why this book delivers an experience is because the prose forced you to slow down. So it's engaging a different level of your mind. And it was deliberately done that way. If you're not in the mood for that kind of read, pick up a book you can popcorn read, but this isn't it. But that's why it becomes so graphic. And it was necessary because each scene is revealing something that's going to get built on later. And if the experience isn't recorded deeply enough in your mind, you won't remember when that thread is picked up later.
And you know what I love about it, Janny, is it's emotionally graphic. When you slow down, and like Sylvia was saying here a little bit ago, you don't judge your audience about how they'll feel, how they'll interpret something. You just give them and then let them have it, let them feel it. And when you slow down and let that wash over you, what you start to have is a reading experience that's very different from a popcorn read. And I love a popcorn read sometimes too, but this is for those when you're looking for something more, when you're looking for something different, when you're looking for something with all this, it's got so much more of that emotional oomph because you're there. That atmosphere sucks you in and it transports you, and you're there, and you let the audience go where they will as far as how they feel about these things. You're never going to spoon feed or prejudge. So I think that kind of all goes together as a part what Sylvia was talking about earlier.
Yeah. And if you're the kind of person that likes to theorize about things, to get immersed into things, make connections, find clues, this is the read for you, definitely. Because, and this is another thing, which I don't think I mention enough when I talk about this series, that I don't know, I'm sure every one of you out there who's ever read a book has this author or group of authors that you feel secure reading, that you know that whatever they put on page, you can open a book, doesn't matter what it is about, you know that they'll take you there. You can just sit and relax and enjoy the ride. Sometimes you will need to think about it more. Sometimes you don't need to think about it as much, but you know that there's plan. There is a ground plan. Nothing is random. Nothing is an accident. Everything is mapped out. There is something deeper beneath it. And in the beginning, maybe you won't know that for sure, but little by little, you will start discovering the trail of something that was mentioned randomly here and there. And then it will come back and you'll be like flipping pages back, trying to find where was it, and then make the connection. And you will figure out this is just the sense of security that this series gives you. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. It walks that line because
go ahead, Jen. The author. And the author, as author, have to trust the reader.
Yeah.
To be patient and let the story unfold it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love what Brian here says, because it is, like what you're saying, Sylvia, it is, you do have that trust in the author because you see this is quite the feat of architecture. Everything fits in and snaps together and builds. But like Brian says here, it's not, I can't ever be comfortable. I learned early on in the series that this is going to go somewhere where I can't, Janny is always telling me DMs all the time, like, you're not ready. And it's like, you know what? I'm not. I don't know. I have so many times, like we've talked about it in the past about earlier books. Like she will just throw something out in these just little nuggets, these tidbits between chapters she puts, and it'll be a humongous reveal, a humongous occurrence. And it's just like, bloop, just plopped out there. And it's like nothing, you can't be comfortable at any moment. You have no idea I think where this amazing lady is about to take us at all times. But she does have my absolute trust because of the amazing construction of it. So it's weird how those two things go at once.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the being on edge, so to speak,
Yes.
waiting for the next thing to hit you. But to me, I find comfort in that, knowing that something is coming. I'm not just, what I meant by comfort is I'm not just reading here to end up with nothing at the end, or, something deflated. My high expectations won't be met. No, it's, I know something is coming, and that gives me comfort. I'm looking forward to, I don't know what yet, but I know I'm looking forward to something. And one of my favorite things is I take a lot of notes on paper, and then I can't read them because my handwriting is atrocious. But, I put things down, and then I'm trying to find where I put it, what I wrote. Because, I know I've seen something about it before. And then when it comes eventually, I'm like, yes, I was right. I didn't know what it was. I had a feeling. So, it feels great.
I think you're just better at it than me. I'm shocked every time.
Absolutely. I'm not. Well,
Janny gets me every time.
I'm still shocked. I'm just lying to myself that I knew it. But yeah, absolutely. I'm also surprised all the time. And then I'm like, I knew I was going to be surprised. That's pretty much it. We have another comment by Heidi. I always love prose that feels like magic. Yes, absolutely. And that is Janny Wurts. Mervyn Peak.
Mervyn
is that how
Peak.
you read that?
Mm-hmm.
Mervyn Peak, Gormenghast.
Similar.
Yeah,
Gormenghast.
He's an artist too.
Yes, Heidi has been recommending Gormenghast for such a long time, and one day I'll get to it, Heidi. I promise.
There's a gloomy read for you.
Love that for me. I used to like a happy ending of a book. And, I always would be like, I don't like when, authors do this to me. They start a story and they end it with a bad thing. I don't know who that person was anymore, honestly. Justina. Hi, I hope everyone is doing great. Yeah, I hope so too. I'm looking forward to joining the Read Along with Sylvia's Discord. Yes. So my Discord people have created a buddy read for 2026. I think they're starting in January with The Curse of the Mistreat of the Wars of Light and Shadow. And I'm so excited to see their thoughts. These people are so smart. We do different buddy reads every single month, sometimes 4 or 5 at a time. And every time we have a discussion, I'm always blown away by how amazing they are. Wait a minute. How amazing they are with figuring things out and giving me a different perspective, just like in this read along. And talking about different perspective and being
there's the man.
Wait a second. Let me push something in here for you. If you have a Discord, I'm not on Discord, and I don't like masterminding people's discussions. I don't like that. Let them go. But if they have questions, drop me a line, and I will answer. And if it's a spoiler, I'll just say, read and find out.
Perfect.
So I'm available to you if you're running a discussion.
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. There will be a discussion, and I will be, looking and laughing at their confusion at times, and telling them read and find out, or you can ask the author. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so looking forward to seeing what people think. Yes, Justina, Heidi, both amazing people, and I'm sure they will appreciate the series very much, and I can't wait for them to ask all of their questions. But for now, let's say welcome to one of the most the nicest people I've ever seen, with the best insights, and I just welcome Abel.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
You haven't missed spoilers. You haven't missed spoilers, Abel, and all we've done is your initial take on it. So you're right. You're right in there. But you missed the big announcement that the next 2 books are coming to audio.
Oh wow, that's great! Finally.
Yes.
That's great. That's a great moment for everyone.
March.
Absolutely.
They're both coming in March. You should be able to dig up the pre-orders. Dig for it. They're live some places and some place not. It's still propagating, but
I'll post it in the description of the live after the live is done, and as a pinned comment under the video. If you want to find it out, I will link it there, just to make sure that you can find it. to introduce whoever doesn't know Abel, he's a fellow booktuber, but he's also an author, and I continue to be the only non-author in this live here, which is very intimidating.
I have
He's
my
a
suspicions about this. I don't know
Yes.
how
don't be
much
suspicious.
of a continued stay this will be. I can feel this sensibility there. I don't know how much time will take, but I'm pretty sure one day we'll read something with your
Me?
name.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Unless
well,
it's
come on.
unless it's criticizing more talented people than myself, you will read nothing by me. The only thing I've written is some aggressively mediocre and extremely embarrassing poetry. So, which will never see the
Oh.
light of day. The one thing I'm sort of proud of is is a haiku summary of Beowulf, because I
Oh,
like to do
wow.
stupid experiments. Yes, it's a 3-part haiku because you can sum it up.
Yeah,
in
those
one.
are
You can sum it up in
words
3
that I
either.
would never imagine being in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest.
As I said, I like stupid experiments, and that's the only thing that can motivate me to write.
Mhm.
Or I want to complain about something. As a Bulgarian, that's the one thing that keeps me living. Pure anger and complaining.
Is fuel.
Yes, but Abel, can you tell us your non-spoilery impressions
Yeah.
of the book, Grand Conspiracy?
Yeah, I purposefully delayed the reading of this book, waiting for the date of this live stream, which was a good thing because I have it pretty fresh in my mind. I finished it a couple of days ago.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't that
Oh, wow.
good for my memory of the previous books because I retain a pretty good amount of information about things that I read, even after many years. But of course, the more time in between volumes, the less details you get to retain, unless you do something really scholastic like I do, like taking notes and highlighting and all the rest. So thank God for markers and stuff all there with different colors. So it is pretty fresh in my mind, and I have to say, I will never not enjoy something written by Janny Wurts. I think it's the fifth volume that I read in paperback. I think, yeah, it's the fourth for the American people. And so there are degrees of appreciation for every book, but I don't think I'll ever be in a position to say I didn't enjoy that. It was myth, okay? Never. It's like watching Christopher Nolan's movie. They're all amazing, but maybe one of them you enjoy more of the others, and the others that you don't enjoy that much is because maybe they don't resonate with you on details or on nuances, okay? So this one was the one that I finished, and I was less blown away if compared to the others. I think that I am a first book guy, so the love that I have for Curse of the Mistwrights will never compare with anything else, because it was like being in love for the first time with
the first love, yes,
beautiful and the most intelligent woman you will ever meet. Okay, that's the kind of relationship that I have with that book.
If I could just add, that doesn't always count for first loves. Just so you know.
Yeah, no. But I was lucky because that's the way it worked for me in my life.
Great.
So
Perfect.
I can say that because that's my experience. Okay, it shaped my idea of romantic love.
Fair.
So the second one, I think, the second one and the third, they're my most favorite. This one, I had my issues with it, even if it contains a few of my favorite moments. We'll go into details later. A few character moments and a few lore moments, and a few plot moments that were so chef kiss, so amazing. But the structure, I struggled a little bit with the time jump. That there's it's a spoiler. It is a spoiler.
No, it's not. It's just time jump.
Okay, and with the fact that my favorite characters and the ones that I'm most interested in, they're completely absent for most of the novels, and especially
I thought that might be one of the things.
And then there was so much focus on other characters that were mentioned in other books, in previous books, that are on the forefront here. They have a specific role. You understand why they're there. But I wasn't able to connect with them on a personal level. I was kind of satisfied with with the so little screen time page count that we had with Descartes, because I don't hate it anymore, but I don't love it either. And I see how he's evolved as a person, as a character, and this very peculiar role that he has in the story, and how fascinating a few things about him are. But that's not a person I would likely ever spend time with if it was a real person. So the fact that it was so sparse in this book was a plus, absolutely, for me. So
I'm writing this down so that one day when you change your mind, I can laugh at you.
I'm ready.
Dude, Descartes has come my guy. I love Descartes at this point.
I hated him in book one because he was so ungrateful
being in the
and
minority, guys. I enjoy that. So even though there are specific moments that I was blown away, that I really loved on a plot
is it
level,
spoilery?
No, I'm not mentioning. Okay. I'm not mentioning anything else. There were moments that I will remember forever. And then I took notes because I told myself, if you get to write into your lifetime even a quarter, and if you manage to show a quarter of the artistry and the craftsmanship that Janny Wurts showed in this scene, in any of your books in the future, you'll be an accomplished man. You can sleep on a constantly cold pillow, a fresh pillow, and always warm when you need it, and always fresh when you need it, because there was something amazing. But the overall structure of the novel, I came to the end. Maybe in a couple of days and weeks, it will be different when I had time to, ruminate a little bit better. But I'm still questioning.
If you read Curse of the Mistwraith and you read a third of it and you stopped, that's where you are at Grand Conspiracy.
Okay.
The third arc is one story. It is broken into 5 parts, and each novel is structured to have enough of a story arc. But imagine if you were to stop Curse of the Mistwraith at 1/3 and say, did I understand why all this stuff was here? No, it's still building. We're assembling pieces. You're going to hit the tipping point in the next volume, and believe me, let's see what you think of this book when you get to the end. You can still say it's not.
I'm itching to start it. I will probably start it tonight.
But that's where you're sitting. It's a 5-book arc, and it's really one overarching story, just as the entire series is one overarching story.
And we have here another prediction, by Brian, that you might revisit your thoughts after finishing Peril's Gate, reasons for what he's missing. So prepare. We also have Christopher here saying, wanted to stop by. Sorry I couldn't make it to today's stream. Janny, as always, you blew me away with Grand Conspiracy. Hope to return for Peril's Guild. You better. And also, we are so mad at you.
I miss you. I miss you, Christopher.
just so you know.
But we are mad.
Just so you know. But no, life happens, Christopher. Don't worry. We can't wait to have you on the next discussion and hear your thoughts, just like everybody else who couldn't make it today.
We're keeping score.
Clearly, and you're losing points, but also, we are benevolent.
The best part about having such a large group is life happens, and some people might have to slide out here and there, but we can still come together, and no one really has everyone's kind of caught up. I mean, I know Zachary Chase fell a little bit behind because of school, the end of his semester, but no one's got to a point of the series and went, I mean, everyone's still going, which I think speaks very highly of the series.
Jake was very sad that he couldn't join specifically for this one because he was so so impressed with it. But
Jake
Jake
loved it.
from Nerd Level Rising,
Yeah.
he's coaching one of his friends to lift heavy stuff competitively or something. And I think they're doing the competition today. So if you have a spare virgin or something, you can sacrifice it for their success. I think this is the right moment to do that.
Tom is in a strongman competition today too.
Yeah,
That's why he can.
yeah, it's absolutely insane. I had made all of these introductions that were hinging on one another. That for people to be here, and I was going to introduce Tom as the Burt Reynolds of BookTube, and now my joke is lost, and it's terrible because yeah. But anyway. Still, I'm happy that whoever could make it made it. And Brian is also saying, I am not in a strongman competition. No, Brian, but you have our thoughts and prayers.
But Brian is the second Burt Reynolds of BookTube.
Yeah, well, Burt Reynolds wishes he could have been what Brian is to BookTube.
That's it. There you go. Very good. Very well played.
Brian is the duct tape that holds this entire community together. So
duct tape. I love it.
The duct tape of BookTube. There you go. All right. Listen, people. I think we have skirted around the actual meat of the subject long enough. And I think it's about time we enter spoilers.
Yes.
Because I'm supposed to be at my company's Christmas party right now. And I'm going to be late, clearly. So who cares? But whoever hasn't read the series books yet up to this point, I'm so happy to have you here. But you should leave right now and think about the priorities you have in life that you haven't read it yet. So there. And we can't wait to have you here next time again. And once you have read it, listen, if you have fear of missing out, because I hate FOMO, if you have fear of missing out, you are right to be having it.
You should have it.
Yes,
you should
this
have
is the correct feeling you're experiencing right now. It tells you something you should be doing. I know we're sounding like fangirls and fanboys, but there is a reason for it. I have not participated publicly in any other read along. Everything else I read on my own time whenever I decide, because I'm terrible with schedules and all of that when it comes to things like this. This is the one that I thought I was going to read one book and maybe then read the rest of them on my own time, but I just can't not be a part of this because this is so good.
Yes.
So there, we're moving on to spoilers, but before we do that, we have some more comments. Brian, lift a hot toddy instead for better. See? People are thoughts and prayers, Brian. Thoughts and prayers. Okay. I'm out. Hi from Portugal. See you later. Oh, so cool. I don't have FOMO, but I'm starting to feel it now. This book. Again, Justina, this is the correct feeling. I know you're going to love it. I can't wait for us to talk about it. Absolutely. We have from Croatia. My God.
Hey,
so lovely. So lovely. All right. Spoiler time.
Yes.
All right.
I can't wait to hear Abel's. If Abel is he built this up so well about pillows and warmth, and like I can't wait to hear his top moments.
Yes. Before we talk about top moments, I want to talk about the grand conspiracies of it all. Which was your favorite grand conspiracy in this book? Because there are a few. I mean, there is a grand conspiracy. We all saw it, but there are quite a few conspiracies going on, and I want to know which one was your favorite one.
John, you go first. Oh, come on.
I got two. I got to categorize.
All right.
The grand conspiracy that I love the most is the way Arathon's working. He seems to be 3 or 4 steps ahead pretty much all the time about what he's doing, how he's doing it. I love it. The one I hate the most is Lysayers. I can't believe how he's mobilizing organized religion in this way. It's insidious.
I can't believe you can't believe it.
It flips every switch that I have of things that just make me furious. And Muriel, Muriel's conspiracy, where people don't even know. People think they can be on a redemption arc like Liara, I think the one that's trying to be
Lyrenda?
Lorinda, that's trying to be the
Lorinda.
prime.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't even know that they don't even know they're a piece on the board, on Muriel's board, but they are, and she scares me. That grand conspiracy is the one to be most scared of.
But can't you not, like, her grand conspiracy? Sorry for jumping in here, but I can't keep it in. The grand conspiracy. Her grand conspiracy is my favorite one. Her story is so
good,
interesting to me, because we knew that she was doing schemes, but I had a completely different view of her until this book, and the things that she did, and the reasons that she had, and the consequences of that. And while what she's doing is insane and obviously is causing so much harm, can't you not understand? Like,
You
she feels
can.
like humanity has been robbed of this thing. It's been taken away from them, and she wants to restore it regardless. And one of the themes—
That's the word, regardless. Regardless. That's the problem.
Yes, that is a problem. But she doesn't care, because she thinks she knows better. And this is a theme through the entire series. This is a theme within a theme, because the greatest irony of this entire series is how people think they know everything. They know best, but they know a little bit, and then they react based on that little bit, and they go off and they do these insane things, and you can understand from their point of view why they're doing it. And then you see the rest of it, and we also don't know everything, so maybe her reason is more than just what we see right now, because there's this
count on it with this amazing woman right above me. But Muriel's like, this long life she's had already, this amount of power she's amassed already,
but
all these things she's done. She doesn't have the grace to understand that she should now pass this on. She trusts no one to pass it on to. She trusts no one but herself. And she's going to hang on to this power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Where she is in it, where she is at the end of this book. Oh,
but okay, so she's taking this, but she is also afraid. There's something that's motivating her.
That's why she doesn't trust.
She's afraid, like, if I understand, she's afraid that she's gonna die without, because if what was it, the prophecy, if Arathon lives, or what was it, she's gonna die without what's the word, somebody to take over,
an heir,
and she's afraid. And why is she afraid? Like, okay, there is this one thing that's motivating her, that, okay, she wants to restore this humanity to technology, whatever. But she's also afraid. And what is she afraid of? Why is this so? It's normal to fear death to one extent, but why is this specifically? Because she will have no heir. What is there? What more is there? This is we see there is more. We know, we don't see, but we know there is more. And my thing is, what more is there? I want to know. Sorry for being so animated about this.
It's everyone.
It was my favorite thing about this book.
Yeah, the beauty of it, again, is everyone's motivation's absolutely trackable and makes absolute sense as far as their character motivations go. But at the same time, it's that hubris, it's that self-importance.
Yeah, it's hubris.
My mission is so far advanced above anyone else's. I mean, look at the wizards in the same way. What we find out about them, that they're the final solution. That they're well, if they can't bring the nature back to balance, then bring the Paravians back and have magic reappear and all. It's like they're the red button, man. They'll nuke the whole thing if they have to. Like,
they have the finger on the nuke.
Yeah.
But they also have a lot of restrictions, because they're, I mean, I was very suspicious of them in book one. I don't know if you remember our discussion. I was like, what are they up to? There's something there that's going on. But the more I read about them, the more I find, okay, they did something. They did something so that humanity, saw a lot of bad times. So now they have the experience. They found out, what was it? FAFO, the saying, and they found out. So they participated in something terrible, and they have the experience now. And now they're more. They're not all in agreement, and we'll talk about Davian the betrayer later on. So many things to say.
Yeah.
But
I'm telling you, he has all the answers.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you.
This is I would if the rest of the series was just about him, I would
Yeah.
read it still.
And we know
But
where he is now. Like we
yeah,
get these glimpses. Yeah.
that's so cool. But yeah, sorry, we didn't give opportunity to Abel
Yeah.
to
Go ahead,
speak.
Abel. You're just monopolizing here.
I think that I am torn in between two grand conspiracy, aside the one that I think that gives the name to the novel about the Koreani and everything they want to do to try and frame and stop Erathon. I am torn between, again, I don't know if you can actually call it conspiracy, but about the real actual motivations and burdens that all the sorcerers have and carry on, because the specific sentence that explains all the backstory and the baggage that they have that resonates with me is that if the compact is broken, then the fellowship must enact the annihilation of humanity all over again.
Yeah.
And when I read
So
that
cool.
sentence, it sounds like a lot of regret, a lot of pain, and a lot of accountability that we're taking because of what happened. But then on a reread, I thought, how can I be that sure that they're actually, all of them, so much, they're actually grieving about what happened? Because they were smart, they were powerful, there must have been really strong motivation for them at the time to push them to do what they did. Were they aware of the consequences? Were they aware of what was going to happen? Did they do it regardless of the consequence? What did they think they learned? And what are they able to sacrifice again if they have to do it? So I still think that we know so much more about them, what they want to do, what they feel they are obliged to do. But I still think there is a lot there to try and understand, that to dig out from each and every one of them. I want to say that the more I read about Luhane, the more I love that man.
Yeah.
I have this very vivid image of him, of his expressions, about the way he moves, about the way he glides through the world, and of trait, of course. He smirks, his relationship with the crow, which is amazing, and especially in the scene when they have to do the scrying to see those 10-15 years in the future and try and understand. On the other side, another half of my appreciation for this conspiracy is that I think that Erathon had a very good idea of how to get out of that trap that he was put in at the end of the book. I really had no idea of how he was going to be in any way able to get off of that, but I certainly wasn't going to imagine that he was going to smoosh Lyranda and solve the things.
But that is so cool.
And so it caught me by surprise. Of course, it makes absolutely sense. But I think that I have to train myself to understand that the way this person, his minds work, the way he plans his steps, and the way he tries to accomplish his goals is so far ahead that he will constantly surprise me. It will make sense. It will make me understand more about his motivations, or his inner trauma, and everything that happens. And even if I spend 500 pages without having him, or having him just in very small bits and pieces, those last 100 pages when he was on the forefront, and there was a lot of action, it was an incredible payoff, and I forgave Janny for keeping me away from me. The way he actually has this...
you have been forgiven.
That's a great conspiracy in and of itself. It's like he's conspiring for every single person that he's been in contact with, and everything he's want to accomplish, his desire to save people, his desire to have a little bit of justice. and the way he tries to shield himself for all those very romantic, incredibly relationship that she has with Lara, which is, ladies who write romantasy, just understand that someone here will have you so much to teach to you about
there's some swooning by the end.
I was swooning.
Elira is my favorite character in this entire series. And when I was talking about earlier that I was a little bit anxious what's going to happen, it was because of her. I have never associated personally. I mean, you associate with every character you read about, more or less. But to me, she is precious. I love every time she comes on page. All of her chapters are some of my favorite. Everything she does is like, yes, I want you to be a real person and be my friend. And I want her to be happy. That's it. I don't care. Like, the two brothers can die by the end of the series. It could happen, okay? But I want her to be happy. That's what I want.
It's great for me.
Before we move on from the title, of Grand Conspiracy, and what our favorite conspiracy was, this is the thing I love about it, is you can go from character to character to character all the way down the line. And grand conspiracies, smaller conspiracies, they all have motivations, they all have agency, they all have what they want. But what we never lose from character to character, no matter how grand it is, Lysair wants to change the world and make it safe, and all these things that he's driven to, all the way down. You pick a character, they all have these agencies and these ideas and these motivations, and we never lose the human frailty from character to character to character. Even Grant, like the group of wizards here, that we want to bring magic back, we want to bring Paravians back, we're willing to hit the red button if we can't do it. But we've seen before, they have failures. The curse didn't quite work out the way to lift the Mistwraith didn't work out the way they wanted it to. They're not all powerful. Everyone has human frailties from the top to the bottom. And while they're trying to achieve these things, Muriel, who we were just talking about, can't seem to have the grace to let go or hand over the reins of power or use the power of generations to achieve what she wants to do. Be a teacher, teach the next generation, and then hand it over. She's unable to do that. She's had the hubris to hold on and want to do it herself. So there's human frailties from character to character to character in these midst of these conspiracies as you move all the way down, which is just fantastic to watch and see. And as you were saying, Sylvia, I can grab onto that. I can see myself in that, and it can become a cautionary tale to some of us reading when we start to see the human frailties and the motivations in the interactions. But even these grand moves and these grand things, we never lose the human element, character to character to character, which I think is just lovely.
Yeah,
I think there are a bunch of head of states who should read this book about the weight of power and the weight and the consequences of decisions, and on all of our preconceived ideas about our enemies.
But I think we all should. And there's another thing. When we observe Lysair more specifically than anybody else, and his behavior and how he goes about things, and when we employ some empathy towards him and follow the reasons for him becoming the way that he is and the way that he acts, and yes, I hate some of his decision trying to burn the gatewood. That was terrible. But he goes about things believing that he's right. He is compelled to be he is under the influence of the Mistwraith, but he also has this inherent desire for justice, and justice without empathy is tyranny. As I forgot who said that, but I'm pretty inclined to agree. And seeing him do that, I think about myself and how I perceive the people that I ultimately disagree with. I mean, think about any powerful leader or religious leader or somebody is well known and you completely disagree with them on the things that they do. Now imagine that they oppose you and then you're trying to stop them and you have some power to do that. And you start you employ no empathy towards that person because to you they are just a force that is wrong. And then you start acting like Lysair, just like they probably act towards you. And it's
but look,
such a mirror to this. It's just fantastic.
it is a beautiful mirror. But look at again the human frailties there. Lysair, by this point, because of all of his inner circle that has been lost on the battlefields previously, is very, very much alone. Does even his new wife, does he
the way he treated
her?
Elaine.
Yeah, the way Elaine, does he accept her? There's no one that he's completely lost track of the humanity around him that he's trying to protect. Who is he bringing justice to at this point?
No, it's not about protection. It's what he see. This is the thing that every time gets me. It's the desire for justice. But how do you deploy justice when all you have to go by as your measurement for justice is your own point of view? It's it's this thing that I need to remind myself every time, because how we tend to close ourselves off for feedback from points that we consider beyond contempt. So many people I have in my life I have just dismissed because I'm like, you're wrong. Ultimately, you're wrong. So whatever you say, I have to take the opposite position. And then you have to start thinking about it. And it's just this it starts getting you to think about yourself. And another thing that I thinking about Elaine, specifically his new wife, and the way that he treated her, I hated the way that she was treated through this entire book. And I'm really happy that she didn't turn out to be the way that he saw her ultimately. But I
she's quite strong by the end. Yeah, I mean,
but the way that he's treating her, because he considers himself vulnerable with Talith. He considered to be vulnerable, even though he ultimately pushed her off as well. But he didn't want this to be a weakness, and so he's closing himself off. And this all stems from all of the things that he went through. I mean, from childhood, and this is childhood trauma is a thing that's being discussed widely nowadays. But it's a thing that he didn't pursue to discover about himself. It's just all of these things that he carries, and now he's just now you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. So he's just going about these things, and obviously there is the supernatural influence. And while, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but if I understand correctly, he's under the influence of the Mistwraith the whole time, while Arathon only in strong bursts. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think Arathon is all the time, but when they get closer, the burst becomes
stronger. But I just feel like it's not just that, obviously, because he was more capable to fight it off earlier.
But look at the juxtaposition, though. As Lysair becomes more and more and more, like you said, I know how they get to me. They get to me through the person I love. So I'm not going to really let Elaine in. I've lost my sounding boards, my closest my closest people on the battlefields previously. So it's just me. It's just my mission. I can trust only myself. Very much like Muriel to a large extent, right? And it's this lonely pursuit of what he believes in this echo chamber in his own head, because he doesn't have sounding boards around him, that leads him to the dangerous expediency of being a hypocrite and taking in what he is fighting against.
Hypocrisy is phenomenal.
He becomes with his own little magic alcove up in the tower, or everything he's supposed to be fighting against. Well, if it'll help me achieve my mission, maybe I can use it. And it the expediency, the hypocrisy, all those things, because he doesn't have sounding boards around him to go, well, we're losing sight of what we're fighting for. He doesn't have that Jiminy Cricket or that conscience to be a sounding board and talk to him. Whereas Arathon, even though he's reeling and completely guilt-ridden by who he's lost and who he continues to lose, still has sounding. He still has Dakar. He still has sounding boards around him. He still has people he cares about that can break through, and he will listen to.
But I think it's also the profound. How should I say? It's so terribly ironic that the price that we pay for for those things, the price that you pay for justice, at all cost, it's paid by the people around you, because you tend to lose everybody becomes means to an end, while the price paid for ultimate empathy is paid by Arathon. You can see him guilt-ridden, and my heart broke for him in every book, but in this one in particular. And then the people closest to him as well, and how he has to make choices, trying to save the boy Fionn,
Fionn.
trying to save him. So many other people had to go, and then he has to suffer now this. But it's the thing that there's no way to win. It's just it's
quite
the
tragic.
price that we pay for those things.
It's very tragic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice
Abel-
the moment when
yeah.
to tie back to what you were saying, Sylvia, where people have to make choices based on where they are, and you have a
Yeah.
very narrow viewpoint? Did you catch the paragraph where Arathon stands down the two men at arms that Dakar said stop him at all costs from stepping into this trap? And he says, you have to let me step into the trap, because if he can't act and can't have authority, can't have any agency whatsoever, he's already lost.
Yeah.
That
Oh my God.
precious footing of having that agency, even knowing you're wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to make a decision in life
Yeah.
based on no information at all. No human
Sometimes you
being
can-
has all that information. And if you insist on knowing everything before you make a move, you paralyze yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So that was a
And-
very pivotal paragraph.
And you stand for nothing.
yeah.
Exactly.
And this is a theme throughout the entire book about choices. And we start the book kind of with with the conversation between Lyrenda and Alara with do I have a choice? Well, you do. Just the outcome is the thing that limits it. I mean, I'm not quoting verbatim. And then later on, when they're offering this child the choice, it's just the illusion of choice.
Whoa, that's horrible. That's just brutal. That's so brutal. They just
the
completely
theme of
hoodwinked.
choice
Yeah.
through the book was just phenomenal.
It's the cost of magic. It's a sacrifice,
Yeah.
and the person doesn't even realize they're sacrificing their entire life. They just don't even realize. Yeah.
Terrible.
There is a conversation between Fionn and Elara. I think it's in one of those moments when after she heals him, and after she shields him for the first time, and she stands on the door, and she says, "You're going to kill me if you want to take the guy." And it's very nuanced because he hates Erathon like everybody else. He thinks that Erathon is this incarnation of evil, and that only bad things can come being in contact with him, and even worse, supporting him. And he says, "I look so much like him," he asks to Elara, and he says, "No one is willing to believe me because he's continuing trying to separate himself. That's not me. I'm just a farm boy, and I'm not your evil sorcerer." And Elara says, "Hate has no years."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a phrase I highlighted.
Convinced himself that they are in the reason and that they have sufficient motivations to harbor that kind of negative energy towards someone else. That made me think about Lysair and about because when the handmaiden slapped them was such a satisfying moment.
That was awesome.
Was I so rough? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, after he ravished that girl, and he was so detached, and at the same time, regardless of her feelings, about her emotions, and about the actual act of it that they did. And because he was desperate, because he is so close, and remembering Lady Talit, and thinking about the consequences of opening himself. But that's because his idea of justice and his idea of, and the way he turned that desire for justice in a powerful engine that makes it move, it turned in this blind and blinding hatred that doesn't let him understand that there are a lot of things that, because he spent time with Erathon at the beginning in the first book. And of course, he felt himself, he was deceiving me. All the good things that I saw in that man, And all the other people that tell me that he was a good person, like Lady Talit, that swears he never touched me, he's honorable, she didn't actually become his supported, but she was trying to make him understand that his hatred towards everyone was not that justified. He's unable to do that. And I think I have a suspicion that even without the curse, a good amount of things he would have done kind of in the same way, not exactly the same way, not to this extent. He would probably never have started a religion in which himself is a messiah, okay? But I think that his disposition and his desire for justice and the way because this omniscient narrator that we have in the book is obsessing on how attractive he is, on how resplendent he is, on how charismatic, even his butt cheeks, how firm they are. So you see, I think
I like that.
We cannot.
That's the one thing you like about him.
I mean, you have to like something.
Yeah. So I think that he was conditioned because of the way he grew up. He was conditioned because of the way
very privileged.
He's conditioned because of the many traumatic things, because losing one love, even having a very heavy hand on losing that love is a traumatic experience. But I think that there's something fundamentally misguided in his worldview, that it is understandable, that it is, you can empathize with it, but I begin to think that there's something there that started before he came in this world with his family. Of course, it has to do with his father and the way he grew up there, that completely destroyed his idea of justice. And the more time passes, the more power he gets, and the more yes men he's surrounded with, the more this fuel, this hatred, and the more deaf he becomes and unable to actually listen and understand the consequences. And that makes me incredibly sad, because I love that guy in the first book. I really love that guy.
But that's such a
anymore, but it becomes incredibly painful to see him snowball and become this dictator, and to see him. And I don't want to empathize to this extent and crying with him, because he is crying thinking about Lady Talith.
I love that.
That was a great scene.
I was looking forward to it.
All the suffering.
There was a human moment, right? He had just a human moment there to remind us that
to fall in love with
this
her.
is the beauty. This is part of the beauty of it all, because again, he's not twirling his mustache thinking, "Ooh, this is how I'm gonna," He's a human being, and you can see. I mean, maybe not all of you, but one can see part of oneself into that human being, and you can put yourself in his place. And I always bring this up every time, because I think this is a big thing. In his mind, his mom abandoned him, left him, and then this other person whom he looked up to treated him, he was privileged on the he was privileged in a lot of ways.
And what kind of leader was his father?
Privilege, privilege
watched?
is not the only thing for a child. Love matters more, and when you don't have it, and then you have these gifts, but you don't get to be taught about them. And I think his fear, like his desire to obliterate magic users, comes from his lack of understanding, lack of control of what he supposedly has, while Arathon has this control and this mastery over what he's got. Lysair, while powerful, he's it's a thing that it's not natural to him in his soul, because he was not taught these things. He feels it more or less external, or at least that's how I would have felt about it, and then hate it in a way. And talking about their powers, I'm starting to we're starting to see a little bit of foresight here and there, because they also have this from the Sahelas. Is that how you pronounce that other line? I'm sorry. Can I ask, Janny? Is it Is it a common thing to have more than one of those lines?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
massive mistake.
All right.
Big that 2 lines crossed and actually 3 lines crossed.
Yeah.
If you read Child of Prophecy, one of the short stories, that will take you there, and you're well enough along, it won't bother anything
All right.
coming in. Some of these pivotal short stories, those little moments, flesh out the details of things that are
Okay.
going to matter later. The novels and the series will
Yeah.
carry it, but it will give you deeper insight into what's
Okay.
going on. So yes, there was 2 royal lines crossed and a 3rd lineage crossed in that story, and it was not, well, I'm not going to say anymore. Super duct tape moment.
All right.
Let's just say that
Right.
that moment in history when those 2 characters conceived a child was momentous for the future.
Oh my God.
That's
Now I
why
gotta
the
read
story is
that.
called Child of Prophecy.
All right. Oh, nice.
All right, we'll have
Okay.
to find that.
Yeah.
Before we go, that one line about hatred being deaf,
Yeah.
and so beautifully tied it back to Lysair. But it's like the amazing thing that struck me when I came across that line was it attaches itself to so many. It attaches itself to the young boy that she's saying it to, because he grew up thinking,
of course,
of this evil wizard,
Yeah.
this religious fervor that's sweeping so many people. Think of him as this, and
Yeah.
it's then I while I read that and I was ruminating thinking about that, it's that there are moments that when you're reading, especially as an art form, and you feel like there's a conduit between you and the artist, and you can reach out and kind of touch the artist and some of their ideas sometimes. The power of that line, the hatred being deaf, and all of this fervor is happening while the personification of empathy is off stage, basically, right? And then you start thinking about your own empathy and how you can apply it to your own life and how you can apply it to others, and things like you said earlier, Sylvia, about that person. I just think they're always wrong. I have to be diametrically opposed to everything they say because and you lose the sight, you lose the ability, you lose the empathy to walk a few steps in those shoes and start to see other people as people. We can all fall into that trap. The little boy she's saying it to is in that trap. The populace is in that trap. Lysair is in that trap. So many people are in that trap, and I just felt that in that moment I could reach out and touch the artist and hear Janny tell me, you're in that trap too. You've fallen in that trap too.
Yeah.
And it's these moments that you're having with this piece of work that can actually make you self-reflect and give yourself a little bit of maybe I'm going to try and be a little bit different moving forward.
And how beautiful is it that in this tremendous story where so much is going on, like actual plots unfolding, we actually take the time to talk about this human thing. Self-reflect while all of these endless plot threads are going on with
human things
world being unshielded, other
so important in the world we live in.
What's going on? All of these things, it absolutely fantastic that we can stop. There is a question for Janny in chat. Hi Janny, I noticed that in the glossary that each character's name has a meaning that is befitting of them. Is it all tied to when the sorcerers and enchantresses talk about someone's true name? And there's a continuation. Perhaps their true name is who they are, not just what they're called.
When I refer to the name of a being, a true name, it is not a spoken word.
Okay.
It will be a sonic phrase that would be full spectrum. It would identify that entity from every other entity in the universe, totally unique. So the spoken name could never encompass that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there are different levels of the language in this world. There's the King's tongue, which is a devolved version of the Paravian. There's the Paravian that the Paravians speak. There's also actualized Paravian, which when the sorcerers want to affect something, that's what they use. And that would involve true name. They would be by intent invoking those sonic frequencies. So the language would only reflect what you could hear of it, but true name would carry far further, both below and above the spectrum of hearing.
That's
does
why
that
I
answer your question there?
More like science
this will
fiction.
develop as you read through the series. You'll begin to encounter some of those layers and levels.
Yeah.
I want to say two things before I think we are running out of time, but just two things that I think I will remember forever about
Yes,
the way
I want to hear these.
Janny is structuring the storytelling in this story. We have this very short snippets and interludes in between chapters, right? When we see just a few sentences about other perspectives and people doing things, and how she offhandedly throw a sentence about a centaur guardian that lifts his horned head and trembles, eyes liquid and wide, with that could be great sorrow and rage. I think this is the first time we actually see a Paravian in the flesh, if we can, doing anything about in the world, with Erathon still traveling years and years and being nowhere near completion of this mission of finding them. And the second thing, I think it's a stroke of genius using this, such a pivotal thing, such a massively important thing, in a few sentences here and there, and then you read the consequences, maybe in a couple of books. And the other things is a character, actually, which is Dame Dor, which was incredible. Is the Perian's mother, grandmother, and that she, when she gets introduced, and she has this very short conversation with the princess, and the way the significance of the fact that she doesn't sip from the wine, and all the things that she says to her about being all the warnings about all the subtleties and the consequences of her action about being a princess and trying to have her head attached to her neck, and so that she didn't hand dying like that, like Talith, and her having that it's not a wand, it's a stick, and almost smashing it on the balls of Carabel. Who was that? I think it's an incredible character. She's beautiful.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, I wanna know more about her, especially
You'll get more. You'll get more.
Yes, when she insults that guy who was supposed to follow her and to stay on the same ship, and then she puts them on working on labor on the ship to convince him to chase away. When she sees him the first time, and she says, "Darkaton's immortal bollocks." I was laughing out loud because
Darkaron has had parts of his body and other things mentioned quite a lot. I'm starting to get curious.
Yeah, when she says to the guy, he diminishes him and she scorns him and tell you, "Do you want a passage? We don't take people here. We don't let people buy their tickets on our ships." This is amazing, and she reminds me so much, and I think she's the origin of that character. If you have read The Expanse, there is a character called Christian Avasarala.
Yes, absolutely. The same thing what I thought.
She has
Dar came a long time before Avasarala, but I love
exactly. I think
character.
that the colorists, they must have been inspired by this, because she's a powerful woman. She has this she's foul-mouthed. She has this incredible vision of the world. She's very scheming and very, very gifted in her political abilities. And this is one of those things that I mentioned at the beginning of the book, with the scene between Lysier and his new wife and all the drama about that, the action scene at the end of the book, all of the scenes of the scrying, of them trying to see the future. Those things are incredible.
Yeah. But that's the grand dame of the Bearden's house. Bearden. Yeah. I mean, doesn't she just bring that with a little bit of age, a little bit, just that wisdom that she brings to all this chaos that's going on in the world, and she just like comes in and lays down. Yeah, you know, I've seen a few things, and this is what's going on. Just such an amazing character, such an
It's
amazing,
an incredible introduction, and we are so far in the story, and we still keep having. We're blessed with new characters and new dynamics and new levels. And that's incredible. I have never been so happy of being a fanboy of something.
Right? But Abel, this is why I was okay with a lot of this act having Lysair and Arathon both kind of off to the wings or off stage. Because we got to spend time, we got to meet some new characters. We got to spend time with people that, those two kids that Arathon met on the beach forever ago. Like, what are they becoming? Like, we're getting these moments, we're getting these time with some of these other characters that it's only going to pay off in pathos and cathartic moments down the road for this time. So that's why I was okay. I was okay missing our two main characters.
I was absolutely okay with that. There are so many more characters that I want to talk, like the other mini conspiracy with the ships, with the guy that was making the ships and the clans guy. That that whole thing. We don't have time to talk about that, but that in it of itself was such a great exchange with them kind of feeling each other out, one of them going there to kill the other one because the betrayal that he was forced into, and then they're talking in half phrases, they're not saying everything, but you know what's going on, and they're understanding each other. And that was so cool. I know ships, that phrase, it's just, I was like, this is what it was, such a cool little conspiracy. And then Arathon showing up, like the moment they said the executioner can come, but that other guy, some guy is going to take over. I was like, I thought it was going to be Dakar, by the way. But then Arathon, and Fiona are staring at each other
with the same face.
That was amazing moments that we because I want to talk about other, like,
no.
Oh, come on. The webcam is not cooperating today.
Yeah.
Well, two little seeds I want you to look at. Oh, here she is. Go.
No, it's okay.
We lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can barely hear you.
Kind of muffled. We see you, but the audio is a little bit off.
I switched because I'm using my cell phone as camera usually because it has better quality. But forget about that. I'm using the
So we lost you in the middle of your point there.
Yeah, I can continue it later on. But Janny, you started saying something because I could hear you.
No, I just said there's two things that people overlook in this book that you don't want to be tomato surprised, and it's subtle. One is the scene where Seth Beer goes and wakes up the people. Forgotten by the trees.
That scene.
There is a portion of that scene that people walk right past. There is a real, genuine moment in that scene, and people overlook it. The second one is what triggered Davian.
That's the thing I was going to bring up.
And it's extremely subtle. It's extremely subtle.
So,
I won't say anymore.
I want to say a little bit more about that scene with the people in general, like the trees waking up. First, well, they didn't wake up, but this whole scene with the influence on the people and them waking up and understanding, like they have now this connection with the. Can you remember that feeling of having an amazing dream and then waking up in this reality? And while reality is still amazing, you're kind of sorry that you're awake. And that thing, I felt it in my soul, and now they don't want to fight anymore because
that's
they walk away.
That was so beautiful. That because every time we think about objects, life that's not necessarily human or objects awakened, we see it through the prism of the tree. But in this case, it was more so how it would be if a tree actually, they're not gonna start spouting philosophy. They're just gonna give you this connection, and it was so beautiful, amazing moment. So it was such a beautiful way also to subvert this plot of Lysair to burn the forest. It was just such a beautiful way. But also there's this thing about the son. We saw his son now, and how he handled the situation, and how he has these he sees of his father, but is not exactly the same, and I'd be curious to see more of him. But the thing that I wanted to build up to is Davian the Betrayer. We finally, after hearing, like from the first, they entered this world with the count. Was it a fountain or like a
Yeah, the
spring?
fountain.
Yeah.
Davian's fountain. They gave them the 500 years.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we hear him mentioned here and there, but we don't really see anything from him. I think we knew that he was a discorporate, uh, one of the
Yeah, I think
discorporate
so.
ones from the before,
Yeah.
but we haven't really seen him. And now we know that he's isolated, but it's of his own volition,
Yeah.
and he's watching. Like
They gave
he's
him
not
this
just-
grace to stay isolated, and
Yeah, but he's doing it, and he's watching. He has a friend or something. There's a disagreement in a way of in the way that they're interpreting the contract that they have going on, and in the way that he wants to handle things. And when the cabal of light was doing the thing with the skull, uh,
yeah,
I'm speaking in a very simplistic way, but I can't explain it in a better one. He was in the cave somewhere.
yeah,
Like, is that has he been out before? Have you seen him? I mean, I know that I don't think we've seen him.
No, I don't think we've actually seen him.
Yeah, but and then the eagle thing, like we saw an eagle. Was it a reflection of an eagle only, or was it the actual eagle that was? I mean, I can't recall exactly, but there is a moment where there is an eagle, and is that his representation? Can he take a form, or is he somehow connected? Because we know the raven, raven, is it
crow, yeah.
crow, and then now we have another discorporate.
There's a lot of questions there.
and this eagle thing is now driving me crazy, and I want to go back and look for references to eagles to see whether it's shown up before.
See, I wonder when we first started talking about what's your favorite conspiracy within all the conspiracies. What if the biggest conspiracy is Davians and we're not even seeing it yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, probably.
And
But
this
it's
world
just-
is so expensive and so layered because, but what Janny said when he was, there was a healer attending all of those people sleeping, and it lets you understand that there was a lot of dirty work done there to try and take care of them. And at one point, a woman, they call her witch. She enters, and she was on the verge of waking them up. And he lets you understand that if she does that, it will be ugly. Something horrible will happen. But she doesn't care because she's, no worries, they will wake up. And then he grabs the stuff and he does this gesture and emits light, and the stuff loses its powers. And the woman walks away when he, of course, reveals himself as a sorcerer.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
That
Like-
very short
Look at that moment
interaction.
and what happens, because people say, oh, there was none of this lead up. There was lead up in every single book, but don't miss that
There
moment.
is.
There's a lot there that I want to know. That this world
Yeah.
is so enormous. Because until this point, we have seen these powers used by the sorcerers, the Koreani, and then these two, just Lysier and Erithon. Erithon was, of course, trained and all the rest. Lysier not so much, but the rest of the world, the relationship with these powers, the way they heal them, wield them, the way they understand them, if they understand them, there is a lot there. Who's this woman? Where did she come from? And why, if she was so dangerous, did Satvir let go so easily?
Yeah, let her walk away. Yeah.
Come on.
And then
Was it her or was it what she was carrying? Read the scene careful.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
At that point, the staff didn't have any more power after she. Oh, that's why he left and go, because she didn't have any more power.
Read
because
it, and figure it out. It's all on the page.
Find by yourself.
Janny's got the
Right.
duct tape. Janny's got the duct tape.
All right. I'm just saying that don't miss the significance of those two things, because so much else is happening. There's so much else happening. It's hard to see everything for what the impact, but
This
every
is the
little
kind
tiny
of
thing
series that
matters.
calls for endless rereads.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure I will have to.
But the cover. Let's talk about the hot cover of Arathon. Is that a thing we saw in the book, or is that a vision that
It's
somebody
duct
had?
tape.
That somebody had. Because in the previous book there was let's say vision, for the sake of this conversation, of Arathon being executed, but it turned out to be Theon Arek, if I understand correctly from what we saw in this book. All right.
Come on.
You must be getting close to something, Sylvia.
No, because it's all on the page. If you interpret, if you saw the sentence where the original vision happened,
all right,
and you compare what you're seeing
with what actually
but I'm
happened.
not going to direct anything. You
know,
it is all on the page, and you'll go when the moment happens. You'll go bang.
Because on this cover there is the guy, but there is a little light in the background. If you look, and I'm wondering, is light that? If that anyway, we'll find out when we read more.
You will find out. It will all make sense.
All right.
Janny's homework. Read it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty much what's gonna happen.
All right. Well, I can't wait for Peril's Gate, because that's what this is the pivot point. This is the turning point.
Talking about that.
Yeah, it's the tipping point.
All right.
But it doesn't mean that all the reveals are revealed yet. No, it's just the tipping point.
Yeah.
Because in each volume leading up to this, there are reveals, and each book is self-contained in that past material will be revealed again at another level. After Peril's Gate, I don't have any need to backtrack anymore, and so you will see in Storm Fortress there will be a timeline. A timeline will start to be included to remind you of previous events. I didn't want to do that up to now because all those previous events were shown, but prismatically from a different perspective. So they were always reveals. After a certain point, there's no more perspective to show on that previous event, except for what's going to unfold going forward. And so I had to stop worrying about new perspectives on past material. The book will do it, but I started to put a timeline in where it became necessary. So you're still on the build with this.
And that's the Storm Fortress. We start getting a timeline.
I may have it when in Trader's Not U.S. edition. I'm not sure. It may be starting but after the tipping point in Peril's Gate, I no longer retread the first material in a way that if you didn't read the previous books, you wouldn't have a reference point.
Got it.
So reaching this point, and we're about to close out this live very shortly, but I would like to hear, guys, what are you looking forward to the most? What is the next thing you would be the most excited to see? Or see more of? I'm going to start and tell you right away.
Go ahead.
The Betrayer,
Oh,
more of the missing sorcerer. That I would read everything they do, like wake up, drink tea. If that was everything that was written for the rest of the series, I would still read it with great interest. Everything else I'm still very excited about, but right now I'm the most hyped about this particular show.
Yeah. I think that for me, I still dread and at the same time anticipate them, the two brothers, came in contact, facing each other in any meaningful way, okay? Because the story is revolving around them being separate, avoiding this final confrontation. But I'm still eager to feel them shouting and having a fight and pouring their art out and trying to say difficult things, to see if they will actually be able to have a conversation in spite of the curse. That's
Oh, that would be
incredibly
lovely.
fascinating for me. And the other thing, being a science fiction lover and a late lover of
yeah.
fantasy,
Physics.
the universe of the things,
Yeah.
the other planets,
I want to
and
see
to
the quantum
see,
physics.
yeah, we're
More.
seeing them a lot because every time we have
Yeah.
sorcerers there, we have a lot of that
Ooh,
talk.
we didn't
That for
talk
me,
about the
it's kind of
cars things
yeah,
and the scrying. But anyway,
yeah.
next
Now,
time.
especially Caradmon and the way he is shielding the world, is still fighting and controlling and all the rest, and trying
So
to
many choices.
push the curse and the rights away, and to see how still try to they're still trying to force their way through that's incredibly fascinating for me, because it makes the story, until this point we are really hard focused on themes and persons and characters and the slow deliberate development of the plot, but this universal ending threat and the way that you influences all the rest of the universe, I think there is a lot there of material. This is a kind of world that grants TV shows and video games and tabletop role-play games. There's a lot there, and plans of
And who knows
existences,
about
other planets. It's endless, and
Yeah.
spin-offs.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and we learned that humanity is like a
Yes.
newer addition to this
Yes.
world.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
Humanity
Yeah.
2.0.
So yeah, the other worlds. I want to see more about the other worlds
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I want to see more of the human travails and the human frailties of these. I mean, these characters that are becoming immensely powerful. And what does that power do to them? And what does that power do to their ideology and their ideals and how they want to achieve those ideals? Because at the core, they are still human characters with these frailties, and I find that fascinating. And I don't want to see it, but I'm very afraid. I'm very, very afraid I'm going to have that Shakespearean moment where I'm going to see Arathon say,
Yeah.
"You want a villain? I shall be a villain," and that he will be pushed until he has to succumb and take on this role, maybe for very good intentions that everyone is foisting upon him. I don't want to see it, but I'm afraid I might
But
have
we
to see
saw
it.
him doing
I don't want to
horrible
see it, but I
things,
want to
trying
see
to
it.
save people. Yeah, the whole things about him shooting arrows with and the 500. How many of them were that died because he was trying to
Yeah.
avoid for 20,000 to die, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So he's pretty capable, and most likely going to do something.
Think about what that does to a human being that is so empathetic. Like having
Yeah.
To be seen that way, to have to
live with
make
the
those
consequences
choices.
of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, where's that?
Devastating. But you
Yeah.
know what? I'm looking forward to him becoming bad eventually if that happens. Because we don't know what's happening.
I don't want to see
Short,
it.
dark,
And bad.
yeah. But we joke about that, but it is going to be good. Every time we see a force for good or potential for good turn bad, it's devastating. It's why I love Lysae's stories. Because he had the potential. He has suffered, and in any other story, you think he would turn to triumph.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
You are so hard to hear, Sylvia.
sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know how to go about that.
There's some kind of static. It sounds like you don't
Yeah.
have a full connection.
Can you hear me now?
No.
We can hear
I mean,
you. It's just there's a lot of static.
Yeah, it's really just static.
We can hear you, but it's difficult.
I actually.
Now we can't hear you.
It's
There,
now you are. There you
yay.
are.
All right, now.
it's the risks of live show, guys. To say that this is the reason why I love Lysae's story so much, because he had the potential. He could have been great. They could have been so good together as brothers. Finally, having somebody not to be alone, and then they get broken apart, and trying to do the right thing the way they see it. Now one of them goes so much into doing ultimately bad things, while the majority of society considers him to be a hero. And this is beautiful because that's how it happens in real life very often, and it forces us to think about it. But this is on the small scale, so to think, even though it influences the bigger picture. But another beautiful thing about this story that I should have mentioned probably in the beginning, that on every level you can find a compelling thing to look forward to. On the smaller scale, interhuman, like the love between Elira and Arathon. And it's not small, but ultimately it's one of those things. It's a human relationship, even though it influences the bigger things. But even if it was just that, it would still be beautiful. And then there's this new woman that enters Lysa's life, and how he treats her, and how she becomes her own person, hopefully
And the
even
son,
more. And
the guy, the
yeah,
boy.
yeah, the sun, everything, every little thing. And then you zoom out to the bigger picture, the magic of healing, of music, of these things, how that works. And then you zoom out a little bit more to a conspiracy of this sort or that sort. And then you zoom out to the bigger world and the consequences that all of these people do ultimately has on it. And what are the things that we don't know about this universe, and what else awaits us on every level. There is something to care about. And every time a new person enters or a new chapter starts, I know there's something good waiting for me, and I can't wait to find it out. And in that way, Janny, what are you most looking forward to showing us further on?
Well, that's the whole roll of duct tape moment, Sylvia.
Damn it! I should have. I was, it was worth the try.
She gave it a shot, Janny.
Yeah, I had to.
All I can
Can't
say is all
falter
the
for
things that
trying.
you want, you're going to get more of.
Yeah,
And that
can't wait,
things,
I
the
can't wait.
cards are not going to play the way you necessarily imagine that they will.
Nice. This is awesome.
And that's going to please some readers, and it's going to piss some off, because when they start out Curse of the Mistwraith and they go, oh, classic fantasy. And that's another whole roll of duct tape moment for me, because I set out to do something very different. I just used that framework to ease you into it slowly. And by the time you step into Peril's Gate, you can no longer deny that framework is not going to take you to another Tolkien or another Song of Ice and Fire or another. This is a different animal. And when you hit Arc 4, it will hit another level deeper, where the readers are not prepared. But that map was there from the very, very beginning. I just peeled the layers slowly, so hopefully I didn't lose you.
You have not.
It's totally different.
Just the opposite.
It's very, very intricate what I'm trying to achieve with this series, and slowly as the thing unfolds, and it's going to be shown to you, not told. Your hand will not be held.
Yeah. Love it. Love that.
Perfect. Is there
and all the themes that you're building and you're seeing are exactly what I was putting into those scenes. So you're right on the page, exactly where I want. All your burning questions that you want answered. You want to see more Dame Dower. I have you exactly in the box. You're in the zone.
Yes.
But I can't say a word, because I don't want to blow up the cake before the cake is baked.
Nice. Is there anything better than having something so fantastic to look forward to, that you don't know what's happening? Something great is going to happen, whether you're going to love it or it's going to destroy you. Something good is coming.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that is one of the
we
best
don't
things
get enough
ever.
books and series that do that.
Yeah. I know what's better.
The attention span and the instant gratification that publishers expect now. So all I can say is I want more reads like this. And the only way to get them is to blow this out of the water, and then that will sit them up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You asked if what's better, Sylvia. I'll say what's better is sharing it with friends. This has been such an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
And to have Janny with us is just,
oh my God. Looking at us, stumbling our way through this thing.
You're not stumbling. You're not stumbling. I've got you exactly where I want you. Even Abel being very, very frustrated that this wasn't the book that War Host of Asmark was. War Host is an arc finish, guys.
Yeah.
You are 1/3 of the way into this arc. Storm Fortress is going to slam it home. And Trader's Knot is going to be the convergency. It's all going to start rolling down the hill. The pace is going to pick up tremendously. So it's going to slow down for Peril's Gate and then downhill. So I got you right where I want you, Abel. Sorry, but I got
Can't
you
wait,
exactly
can't wait.
where I want you.
Every time I
Perfect.
finish one of these books, I am tired because of the language barrier. Okay, it is really difficult to wrap my head around the pacing and the sentences. So it's challenging for me. And every
Growing
time
pains.
I finish one of these, I tell myself, "Oh, I need time."
Like 20
I'm not.
minutes.
Oh, come on! I'm too tired. Why does it has to be so difficult? But give me 24 hours, and I will be itching to start the next one again.
Yeah.
It's like every woman that tells you, "I have one pregnancy. I'm not going to give birth to another boy," and then they do 10 children, okay, because they enjoy the process so much. And that's a testament
there are
of
other
how
types of.
successful this is,
Yeah.
even being so challenging for me, and at the same time so rewarding in each and every one of them. So that's a huge accomplishment. That's bravo. That's unique.
Yeah.
To
It's
me,
fantastic.
being a lover of fantasy, having been reading fantasy all my life, something like this never happened. Never happened. Reading multiple volumes back to back, this kind of complexity, one after the other. And that's because I'm with friends, of course, that push me to be consistent. But at the same time, it's because the books are so good. It never happened.
Yeah, because you finish a book and then you think about these characters and, like, oh, what are they doing? What are they going to do next? I wonder if this thing is going to happen. And then you want to continue. It's just kind of, it's not impossible to stop, but you don't want to because it's so lovely to go on.
Wow. Janny, thanks for creating these world, and thanks for creating something where we see ourselves in the world and try and be a little bit better in our world. That's quite the feat, and I'm enjoying every step of it. And I'm enjoying it reading with you guys so much. It's such a special moment for us.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. This is a series that definitely, I mean, people say that sometimes, oh, this deserves a bigger audience. But I think this definitely deserves a bigger audience. And what you said, John, us being able to see ourselves into this, and what Abel said, I think even in the first video that we did on the Curse of the Mistwraith, these books are changing the person that reads them because
they are actually actively changing
gets you
day by day.
Yeah. Like I now think about, like, I stop. I mean, yeah, we all try to be better as we grow, hopefully, but actively now I trigger myself to stop and think about when I consider somebody to be wrong, what I said earlier, like this person is beyond contempt. I don't want to listen to them, but I do now. I take the time. It's not always pleasant and it doesn't always change my mind, but sometimes it does. It gives me a different perspective, helps me be either question what I mean, it does help question what you believe, and sometimes it strengthens it, but in some often rare cases it just it gets you to change your perspective, and it's a lovely thing. It gets you to experience the world more and better. I don't know, it's a fantastic read. I can't recommend it enough. And yeah, you will have to go back and replay it. There's some gold in this thing, I think, if I do say so myself. But guys, I stayed an hour longer than I said I would.
That's how good the book was.
Yeah, you can't end a conversation like that halfway through. Okay, it just can't do it. And frankly, this book deserves way longer discussion. And if I had it my way,
that we didn't even touch.
No,
I mean, just brushed through it, and some things we didn't even mention.
Get a chance to bring
so much into it. So hopefully we'll continue. I mean, I know it will continue.
Oh yeah, we will see you guys for Carol's Gate.
But I'm on the verge of sneezing very badly, so I'm holding it together by a thread. So thank you everybody who joined tonight. Thank you for the people in the chat. Thank you to Abel and to John for joining. Thank you to the guys that couldn't join tonight, and I wish them all good luck in getting better and getting a degree and getting medals and whatever else they do, getting the charity that they're attending to gather a lot of money. Thank you, Janny, for continuously joining this community and enriching it, and just being our friend to the people who read your books. Very rarely authors do that, and it's such a, we appreciate it so much. I can't even believe we're having this conversation with you. It's awesome. And thank you everybody for tonight, for
You're
every
welcome.
other night. I wish you all well, day, I know I'm talking about night again. I'm in Eastern Europe. I wish you all a fantastic day, evening, week, month, next year, everything. Hope to see you soon, and read more. That's it. Bye.
Thank you
Bye
for
bye.
hosting, Sylvia.
It was a pleasure. Bye.
Have a nice night. Bye bye.
And